Very good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on this afternoon's public hearing. On behalf of the members of this standing committee, the executive appointment and investigation, we would like to welcome Governor Apateng and Lieutenant Governor Mendiola's representative, Mr. David Santos, the appointee, Mr. Oscar Patrick Kirugwa, elected officials, dignitaries, and members of the general public. Before I proceed forward with this public hearing, let me first introduce the members of this standing committee. To my immediate right is the Vice Chairman of this committee, Senator Jude U.F. Snyder, from the 2nd Senatorial District, Tinian. And next to him is Senator Ronnie Calvo from the 1st Senatorial District, Rota. And to my immediate left is the floor leader of the Senate, Senator Dauno Manglonia from the 1st Senatorial District, Rota. And next to him is the Vice President of the Senate, Senator Corina Magovnia from the 3rd Senatorial District, Saipan. And I'm the chairman of this standing committee, Senator Francisco Q. Cruz from the 2nd Senatorial District, Tinian. I would also like to announce a couple of things in the interest of informational purposes regarding code of conduct during this public hearing. Today, the members of this standing committee is conducting a public hearing on the appointment of Mr. Oscar Patrick Kirugwa to serve as a member of the Public Utilities Commission to represent the 1st Senatorial District. The public will be invited to make comments as to whether you support or oppose the appointee before us this afternoon. We value your input. However, any comments beyond the facts of the appointee or comments that are not directly related with this hearing will not be entertained, and such comment will be removed from the record. At the same time, please observe minimal noises in disrupting this hearing process, and please turn your electronic to a silent mode. Thank you. Let us now begin. This public hearing is now in session. And today is February 25th, 2026 at approximately 1:48 in the afternoon here at the conference hall, Rota Mayor's Office, Tatachok, Rota. This is a public hearing regarding the appointment of Mr. Oscar Patrick Kirugwa by Governor David M. Apateng and Lieutenant Governor Dennis C. Mendiola to serve as a member of the Public Utilities Commission to represent the 1st Senatorial District. Mr. Devin will be assisting this committee. Mr. Jonathan De Longorero will be our Sergeant at Arms. Mr. Jobo Muris will be our legal counsel. Mr. Jonathan Diaz will be in charge with the IT, and also the senior legislative assistant, Mr. Jolin, is here to assist us as well, and they all will serve accordingly for this public hearing. At this time, I would like to ask Mr. Macaron to please call the roll.
Senator Ronnie M. Calvo.
Present.
Senator Manny T. Castro. Senator Francisco Q. Cruz.
Here.
Senator Jude U. Hofschneider.
EAGI.
Senator Corina L. Magofnia. Senator Donald M. Manglonia.
Present.
Mr. Chairman, all members of the Senate EAGI committee are present.
Thank you. My apology for the benefit of the general public. One of this standing committee member is Senator Castro. He's joining us on Zoom. I apologize, Senator Castro. At this time, can I hear a motion from the member to adopt our agenda? There's a motion and was seconded. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. At this time, we'd like to ask our Sergeant at Arms to please invite the governor's rep and the appointee to the podium. And I would like also to extend a sincere gratitude and appreciation to Mayor Aubrey Hokuk for giving us always the opportunity to utilize the Mayor's conference hall. Thank you, Mayor. And sir, before you proceed with your introduction of the governor's appointee, I would like to ask you to, before you proceed, you state your name for the record. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Too strong. Buenas dan Hafade and good afternoon, Chairman Francisco Q. Cruz and the honorable members of the Executive Appointment of Government Investigation Committee. For the record, my name is David M. Santos, the Governor's Office Representative for the 1st Senatorial District. On behalf of the Honorable Governor David M. Atacan and the Honorable Lieutenant Governor Dennis James C. Mendiola, I thank you for conducting this public hearing and the opportunity to appear before you today. I am pleased to introduce Mr. Oscar Patrick Kirigua, the Governor and Lieutenant Governor's nominee for the Public Utilities Commission, representing the 1st Senatorial District. I am hopeful that all required documents have been submitted, which details Mr. Kirigua's professional experience and educational background. Mr. Kirigua holds a master's degree in school administration and supervision. He is a veteran educator, mentor, and respected community leader with decades of dedicated service in public education. As a lifelong advocate pursuing community development and public service, Mr. Kirigua brings experience, integrity, and deep commitment not only to the people he serves, but to the future leaders of the CNMI. Governor Apatang and Lieutenant Governor Mendiola placed their full trust and confidence in Mr. Kirigua to serve as a member of the Public Utilities Commission. He is prepared to address your questions and share his vision for the future. We respectfully request your favorable consideration and approval of his nomination. Thank you, Sidus Masi Zangiliso, for the opportunity to introduce you to this august body.
Thank you, Mr. Santos. And Mr. Kirigua, before I recognize you to deliver testimony, can you please rise so that our staff can administer the oath? Can you just raise your right hand?
Oscar Patrick Kitugwa, you do solemnly swear under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you shall give in the matter at hand shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Aye, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McManus. You may take your seat, Mr. Kirigua. Again, Mr. Kirigua, I know that you have submitted the required documents by this standing committee, but if you have anything else that you wish to share with us this afternoon, you have the floor. But before you proceed, please state your name for the record. Thank you.
I
You can take your seat and be comfortable.
Okay. I, Oscar P. Kirigua, born here in the island of Rota and had been a public servant and been around the island and sometimes back and forth to our CNMI with a civil-minded person, and have been a classroom teacher for 17 years. And then I became a principal, and thereafter I retired, just for your information. And I've been around here on the island. I've been known
and shared a lot of friends and every one of us here on the island. I'm a respected individual as being one of also the senior citizen of the island. And I've not been changed any residence or myself. I've been all the time here on the island. And I have a lot of friends abroad, even here on the island, as well as Tinian and Saipan. And I thank you very much for having me to be heard in this prestigious hearing. Thank you very much, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Kirua. And before I allow the members of the general public that are here in the gallery to participate, first I would like to recognize those agencies that are invited to participate. First, I would like to recognize the mayor, Mr. Santos. You can sit in the back if you don't mind. And again, Mayor, before you proceed, please you state your name for the record. Thank you.
Hafaday, good afternoon, Honorable Chairman and members of this distinguished body. For the record, my name is Aubrey Hokuk, Mayor for the Municipality of Rota. And it is with great honor that I am here to express my full support for the continued confirmation of Mr. Oscar Kirigua to serve under the Public Utilities Commission. I want to thank the Honorable Governor David Apatang, Lieutenant Governor Dennis Mendiola for their continued support of Mr. Kirigua, recognizing his continued service into this commission representing the island of Luta. Mr. Kirigua brings with him a solid educational foundation and a distinguished record of service. As Mr. Santos shared earlier, he has earned his master's degree in the School Administration and Supervision from San Jose State University of Guam. His academic background reflects both leadership training and a deep understanding of community and social systems, qualities that are essential in overseeing public utilities and ensuring responsible governance. Beyond his educational credentials, Mr. Kirigua has demonstrated professionalism, integrity, and a strong commitment to public service. Throughout his passionate career, serving over almost 20 years in the educational system and also serving as a former teacher of mine, his experience and leadership skills equip him to make thoughtful, balanced, and informed decisions that would benefit our community. He understands the importance of accountability, transparency, and ensuring that utility services remain efficient, reliable, and fair to the people we serve. Mr. Kirigua has also expressed clear communication. Anytime before and after his meetings, he does make appointments with my office and shares update with me regarding the Utilities Commission. I am fully confident that Mr. Kirigua will continue to serve, if confirmed by this honorable body, with dedication and will uphold the highest standards expected of a member of this commission. His leadership and insight will be a valuable asset to serve our community at large. I humbly ask for your consideration and confirm the nomination of the Honorable Governor Apatang, Lieutenant Governor Mendiola, and I respectfully urge for your favorable support. Thank you, Sizus Masi.
Thank you, Mayor Cook. Next on the list, the members of the Rota Municipal Council.
Good afternoon. My name is Sandra M. Mosca, Vice Chairwoman for the 20th Rota Municipal Council. On behalf of Chairman Jonovan Lizama, Secretary Tilly Tamanyo, we are in full support of the nomination of Mr. Oscar Kirigua. We believe his expertise as a public servant in education and his expertise of serving POC formally and his reconfirmation. We are in full support of his nomination and hope that the body do confirm him. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Mosga.
Thank you.
Members of the PUC, Public Utility Commission. Any members of the Commonwealth Public Utility Commission? If no one, let the record reflect that there's no one from that Commission's office. At this time, I would like to open the floor for public comment. Anyone in the gallery that wishes to deliver testimony, you're free to come forward and deliver whether in support or not in support. But before you proceed forward with your testimony, please state your name for the record. Thank you. Public comments now open.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, my name is Ivan T. Merib Jr. I'm a voter, resident of Sinapalo 1, known as the street of Dulili. I come for you, Mr. Chairman, to say that I support the nomination of Governor David Mundu, David Apatang, and the Lieutenant Governor Dennis James Mendola's nominee or reappointment of Mr. Oscar Patrick Kitagwa. A lot can be said about Mr. Kitagwa's educational experience, Mr. Chairman, but I am a testament of that educational experience that he put into Rota. I am one of his former students, as well as I called him in high school as my algebra teacher. And I want to let you know that during this time in the history of Rota, there was a gap between teachers coming in, teachers staying, and then the retired teachers were asked if they could come back and work and teach the missing gaps for students. Our class was a unique class because it was 51% of them were NMDs, Northern Marianas descent, and then the 49% were folks like me, non-NMDs, but permanent residents of Rota who are either holding U.S. citizenship or some form of compact freely associated passport. Mr. Oscar Kitagwa had most of us, though I believe that was at time 53 of us in his class for one time. And in that homeroom class of 8th grade, I remember one conversation we had where he told us he understands where we're coming from. He understands that change is hard, change hurt. But here's the thing. Once we start going with change, it gets easier, and then it's smooth sailing. Mr. Oscar Kitagwa was one of those individuals that saw a need to communicate to both people like my age and those of his colleagues. And to give you an idea of how far Mr. Kitagwa's education has went to, he is from a generation of young Rotanese that left Rota for their education. They were not considered U.S. citizens at the time, and at that time, they were filling out something known as the I-94 immigration clearance form at Guam. But then, with that adversity, Mr. Kitagwa still came back. This is the exact kind of attitude we need at the Public Utilities Commission. You need someone from Rota to communicate to both the age gap of our community and at the same time unafraid to tell the truth. Mr. Chairman, many folks have come before your committee. We have always said to support, but before I end, I would like to ask that the PUTC is essential, and as we put Mr. Kitagwa back to service, let's give him the tools he needs and the assistance and the support with the funding to carry out their tasks. Right now, Mr. Kitagwa is going to be looking into numerous areas. At the last PUTC meeting on Rota, he was very evident that the agricultural farmers of Rota must come out and must make their statement known. The residential must come out and make their statement known, and especially those in the commercial and industrial areas of Rota. All of us stakeholders must come out, because Mr. Kitagwa is doing his part of coming into the service and serving as our representative on the board. It is us as a stakeholder that must come forward and give him the dialogue to move forward. Again, Mr. Chairman, my name is Ivan T. Merib Jr., and I stand firmly supporting Governor Apatang and Lieutenant Governor Mendola's reappointee of Mr. Oscar Patrick Kitagwa. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Merib, still open for public comment. Anyone else in the gallery? Once we close public comment, we're not going to go back to public comment again. So this is the opportunity. Anyone in the gallery? No one else? At this time, public comment is now closed, and I would like to ask Devin to report if any, either in support or not in support, any written letters submitted.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Mr. Kittigo, and members of the general public. In addition to the oral testimony received today on the executive reappointment of Mr. Oscar Patrick Kittigo to serve as a member of the Commonwealth Public Utilities Commission representing the 1st Senatorial District, please be advised that no written testimony in support or opposition to the nominee's reappointment have been received by the committee. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. McCronas. At this time, I would like to open the floor for the members of the standing committee to raise questions or concern in regards to the appointment of Mr. Kittigo. First, I would like to recognize from the island of Rota, Senator Ronnie Cabo.
Thank you, Chairman Cruz, and we'd like to thank the Honorable David Apatang, our Governor, and Lieutenant Governor Dennis Mendiola for the renomination for Oscar P. Kittigo as the Public Utility Commission. We'd like to also give acknowledgement on behalf of them, Mr. Santos, Dave Santos, for representing the governor's message, our honorable mayor for her valued testimony, the Sandra Manglonia, all of you attesting in support of our representative here today. I'm pretty sure we do have representative from the PUC Commission, but not able to be present at this time. And Mr. Merib, if I can go back and attest, because as your current senator, I am also a student of your teaching back in the days through NMC. So I really fully understand and commend your service back then as my professor for Northern Marianas College, teaching me the, CNMI history lessons. That's in your honorable service to the public under the educational system. Now you branching yourself onto the utility portion is not an easy task to ensure that we do have, checks and balances within the Commonwealth Utility Corp. So I commend you for your continued service in regards to you coming up. I wanted to just, other than that, ask for, just during your time, your term, the question I would like to ask is, Mr. Kittigo, what measurable achievements are you most proud of in regards to you serving as a Public Utility Commission member?
If you ask me about the measurement, I believe we have done quite a while or a lot within our Commonwealth Utilities Corporation. We're in hand with them, and there's no to allow anyone that would hurt the CUC. We're also keen enough to measure our diligent about our responsibility, where we are getting ourselves up to par.
Thank you, Mr. Kittigo, for that comment. Another question is, what do you see as your top priority for fiscal year 2026 with the PUC? As a commission member, what do you see as far as your top priorities?
I would like to see that we will maintain the cooperation or the cooperation of the CUC to have a certified engineer to our gens on Saipan, because it's nearing of to dilapidate because of its aging status. We're looking into that, and I think we do have some information about that, and we are keen enough to go by on those, and we have been having meeting with the CUC in the generation power. Of course, sometimes we do have blackout on Saipan, but we try to see if can be done in such a way that we also need a lot of fundings, and we do have standbys.
Thank you, Mr. Kittiwat, for responding to the two questions. And if I may, just another comment before I exit. I would like to also commend you because, you know, great parenting behind also your leadership as a community member. You do have children right before you, and I know all of them are taking a role, very critical role, one in healthcare, one in interscholastic sports, and one helping the Manamko. So that is a valued testament to your leadership and what you represent, you know. And we look forward, you know, with arguments in favor of reappointing you. You have, you know, the knowledge and the background to continue. We need somebody that's presently here because to tackle the current issues at hand, you do have, you know, demonstrated your community relationship, and we value your efforts to continue to represent the people of the municipality and of the entire CNMI. So I'm in favor of your reappointment, and if I may, thank you, Chair, and thank you, our appointee. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Como. Now I would like to recognize Floor Leader Maglonia.
Thank you, Chairman, and good afternoon, Mr. Kittiwat.
Good afternoon. Senator.
Congratulations on your reappointment to serve on the CPUC Commission. I do want to point out that recently the legislature has also confirmed Mr. Mendiola from Tinian, and so now you have representation on all three islands on the CPUC. With that being said, how has your role been beneficial to the commission in terms of your involvement in some of these decisions, especially prior to Mr. Mendiola coming on board? You being here in Rota, how have you contributed to the commission, and has your opinions or concerns been addressed to your counterparts on Saipan?
We do communicate it in such a way that we establish our own Zoom meeting, and because of our limited funding, sometimes we do hold back, but we do have the technology of Zoom. We have been giving that information access to do our regular meeting, and as a matter of fact, we had been having last December here in Rota meeting, which gave us a fortunate enough to look around our power system here, and as well as meeting the staff for the CUC, which they're very, delighted with us to work with and in communication with them. We do constant meeting. Even me, I've been well abreast of the information as far as emails concerned and other information or technology, which is so vital for us. I need not to go to Saipan just to reduce our funding. Of course, it's open. There are times that I need to go up to Saipan to communicate, but yet not because to reserve our fund, but I think we're just doing it the way that we should be doing it in a matter of short time. So I think communication linkage is very much vital for us, even though I live here in Rota. I've been well enough reading the emails, and I've been also giving a call. I think communication is so vital for us, and that's the knowledge that I have. I have not waited to be told with, and in case of something here they brought up in terms of bad situation in the CUC, I help along with them.
Thank you for bringing those points up. And I think you also mentioned that there's the importance of communication, and a lot of times when we hear CPUC, we kind of associate that with the CUC, right? But there's also the other side to that, the telecommunications aspect.
Yes.
Have you had any concerns, or have you brought up any concerns with the providers, IT&E, Docomo, in regards to the level of service that we're experiencing here on Rota, provided that IT&E has left the island in terms of customer service, but then also it's very noticeable that certain areas that you service well is now, giving us issues in terms of connectivity. Has there been any investigations or any meetings in regards to what IT&E used to provide, or maybe even just discussions on the level of service that we're currently experiencing here on Rota?
That's an excellent, Senator Manglonia. We sense that, and even the community here, even myself, about having the IT&E situation, whereby we're looking forward into that. We're not just letting it go by itself, but we're aware about that. And of course, there is a very inconvenient services here about the IT&E, and I myself too, being one of those. And I'm looking forward to work on that. It's not because of a problem right now, but it has been all of the sudden kind of a situation whereby the management has not been there, and of course the close of the office. We're wondering about that, yet we're in the schedule for that one in our upcoming meeting. So thank you for that one too.
Yeah. No, thank you. And I hope that if
we
you
sense
do,
that. We sense that.
yeah,
kind
if you
of,
do get confirmed, I hope that's another area that you guys
Yes.
can put your focus on with the telecommunications provider.
Yes.
Again, we have there's competition here, but
Yes.
then also a lot of our people rely heavily on what IT&E, and that having no representation here makes it difficult for the consumers to get their problems addressed, or submit in their concerns if there's no one here to submit them to.
I think, let me just respond for a while. I think I myself sense that, and I don't want to be so sarcastic about it, but I will bring that up, and I think it's everybody's situation about that, and it's everybody's business. It's not because of the PTUC. They're aware as well as us. This is a community-wide situation about having the IT&E. Now, the thing is that I've heard that they closed down their office. Now, where can we go with other than to call them for technical assistance? There's no office. So where are we going to be at in case of having to service your cell phone? That's very inconvenient, but yet we need to go to communicate and find out the problem, because that's something for the resident of Rota. And I'm really looking forward with that, and I thank you for bringing that up, Senator Manglonia.
Thank you, Mr. Kudawat. Does the commission currently have any of employees, or are all matters addressed by the commission members?
That's an outstanding question. We don't have staff. We manage ourselves in such a way that we rent an office over at the Marianas Business Center. Used to be the Noro building. At least we have an office. Well, we're trying to, I think we have been announcing a part-time job for anybody. I think about administrative assistant. We're looking into that. I myself, I did a lot of my own protocol in terms of clerical work, and I have to go to somebody's place and do my errands in order to finish my paperwork. We don't have office here in Rota, only Saipan. But I think sharing is caring. I need to see the CUC if I can join them, but you know we're not the same as CUC, but we help. We're not trying to get away. We communicate with them too.
Yeah, thank you. And again, the reason why I bring that up is because it seems like a lot of the decisions made and a lot of these issues are being brought to the commissioners, and them alone are making all these decisions. Typically, what we see with commissions, right, we have the executive director that kind of manages these kind of issues, and then they bring it up to the commission for final approval. But with that aside, I think, you know, with the recent confirmation of the Tinian commissioner, I think now we have a full commission in which you guys can fully operate and execute a lot of your duties. I know that you have been a commissioner for quite some time now, but I think it's kind of unfair to place any burden on you in terms of what to expect when it wasn't a fully functioning commission. Just until recently, when we've confirmed, but even as recent as 2023, when we confirmed Mr. Cyrek and Dr. Jack, right? But I hope that any issues that you have moving forward in terms of working with your counterparts, you reach out to the legislature to try to see how we can ensure the protection of our people of Rota by representation of you sitting on those meetings. Again, I think the members are pretty much aware of what are some of the issues that we're facing on the utility side, Commonwealth Utilities Corporation, and there really hasn't been much information on what CPUC is doing in the telecommunication side, and I hope that that could be another area of focus that the commission can again look into, and also see what issues there are that could be addressed. And with that, thank you for your input, Mr. Kitigua. And at this time, Chair, I'll yield.
Thank you, Floor Leader. Now I would like to recognize Vice President Magopnia.
Si Masi, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon parago no Mr. Kitugwad and your family and your friends who are here in support of your renomination. I'd like to also congratulate you on the renomination and thank you for accepting the additional responsibility. So I don't have any questions with regards to your credentials. Obviously, you are a sitting member of PUC, so I would just like to maybe ask, as a sitting commissioner with PUC, I believe last year CUC procured some consulting services to do a rate study for the cost of service. So basically, that's for CUC to understand how much is it really costing them to provide the utility services, whether it's water or electricity. And I believe that study came back sometime in June. I believe then the board of CUC, the board of directors, did a presentation to the commission to share the information that they received from their consultant and basically present some proposals of what the rates should be for residential, commercial, and government. So maybe I should start with you as to whether or not you received a copy of that presentation.
I have not been given that information as we requested with, and we do have meeting with them.
Okay.
But we will be scheduling for that one. It's in the agenda for our next meeting. I understand where that coming from, and we also sometimes initiate them to give a deadline. Yet sometimes the deadline has not been fulfilled, so we're still
Okay.
asking them to provide for us.
All right. Okay. I have a copy of the cost of service rate study and the proposals that the board of directors at CUC is proposing, and it's quite concerning because, as we all know right now, just the current rates that we are paying, whether you're paying for residential or businesses, right? It's quite expensive, to say the least, and many of our people and our businesses are suffering, and honestly, a lot are unable to even just pay the bare minimum. So many customers are being disconnected, to include businesses on all three islands. And so my ask for you when you are confirmed is to sit down with the other commissioners again and just review the case study, and please think of our people, because the three different scenarios that CUC is proposing to increase the rate is very I don't know how much more our people can take. You know, the increase to them, and I understand that CUC has to recover the cost that that's costing them to provide the service. But perhaps maybe they could take a look at their operational expenses and see, maybe identify some areas that they could maybe reduce, right, before implementing this new rates, because it's quite significant, maybe not to them, but to an average person. Even an increase of 5 cents, you know, on their bill goes a long way, and these increases are more than $1, you know, for the first year, and then every year after is even more. So I just ask that you please discuss this with your colleagues at the commission, and you know, sit down with CUC and really understand if, you know, some of the expenses that are on their books right now are truly necessary, right? Because if they can cut down on some of the expenses that are maybe not needed at the time, right? Or maybe if they just got a new generator, then that would significantly reduce the amount that they spend on their fuel. Because right now, all the generators, at least on Saipan, are very, very old,
Yes.
right? And, you know, of course, with something old, it'll cost more to repair, to maintain, to replace certain parts. And so there has to be an effort, you know, by the management to try and get a more eco-friendly, more cost-effective and efficient generator so that the cost can be reduced. And that's one of the ways to reduce the rates that our ratepayers are paying, both residential and commercial. So I really don't have any questions for you. I just ask that you work with the rest of the commissioners and with CUC to see how we can truly, truly help our people, our businesses, because there's no way that our people and our businesses can afford the proposed rate increase should the commission approve.
Yes, I share the sentiments of yours, which were in line with that. So many times we discussed about that. So many times we reminded the CUC, and yet when they come, they still believe in what they have shown to us, nor that we requested to reduce in such a way to match up or to entertain the residential and the commercial. But yet, I know it's so hard for them to do the drastic reduce, because when you reduce that amount, it also, others went up. So the control basis there is that you cannot match up. One is reduced, one is increased. So we are aware with that. We have been meeting with the CUC, and we caution them not to increase the rates as you suppose what you were saying. We're doing that, and yet when they come back, you know, because the financial chief officer is the one that take care of course, of that. And when presenting the scenario right there, Sometimes this one increase, this one decrease. So where we are, and it's hard because some of those costs breakdown goes to pay off the other ones while the other ones suffering. And of course, basically when we talk about financing, that's how it goes with. We're aware of that, and we receive what they were presenting to us. But the hidden cost of that is they save one amount to suffice the others. So it's a very burden for us to jump in and say, hey, do something for this and that, because we found out that that's how the way, you know, you're the financial officer, for example, you try to entertain that other one that still needs to be increased or decreased, while the others will be suffering at that time. So I believe we're keen enough with that, and we're making them to aware that don't hurt others while others are really suffering.
Gan. Si dus masini semua response senyo you know antes ne jo ma access the rate no ni ma propose uma atan internally kosinya ma arregla loki zonya financial situations bula sinya matsogwi ni pro ma arregla I zonya finances natsaka kwantu salapi ma impose gi ratepayers no za ma collect kumuti ma arregla I zonya systemic issues galumi CUC for example I zonya water billing no I'm pretty sure kumun ki zonya board meeting I report I executive directors and I chief financial officers apre ano gi water na for example no ma bill let's say they bill $100,000 no or idzigi ma ginasta siya pero ma provide service ginasta siya $100,000 lo pudi mampus bula leak
Yes.
no they're only billing I think at that time it was maybe 50 or 60%, somewhere in that range. Okay, it's been a while since I checked the data on that. And then on top of that, if they're only billing 60% worth of the 100,000, that's only 60,000 that they're billing when it's costing them $100,000 because of all those leak problems.
Yes.
On top of that, their collection rate, you know, because it's one thing to bill and then it's another thing to collect.
Yes.
So if you're billing $60,000 worth of water services, but you're only collecting, let's say, 70% of that, you know, mungi 30% ni,
30%,
no?
yes.
Pues enigi siya ufafaisin na umaatan za kumusinya CUC management maaregla no at sa dunya ibandan dunya finances antes do ma impose as na rate increase por favor magafasu ito ta sa no mahasu lokwi I businesses siya sa sini business ta sa government ta comprendia na government matutsuli sa lapinya para operations ginin BGRs ni businesses siya man maapapasi jajangkin ti tajudadaji jota business jama utsum business ta sa lapi sa primalum gi BGR ni puro matsuli government po ma run you know government ni po ma provide service and programs para ito ta pues necesita ta fana ajuda lo mala no ta arregla ya lung gumata antes ta fanujung ta impose siya na rate increase up you know manama si ta tisinya ma afford sti mismo pogo you know and so it's quite a drastic increase and I wholeheartedly I ask that you guys please reconsider before approving that proposal because it's not gonna do any good for our people and it's gonna worsen our economic situation if those rates are increased. So that's all I have, Chair. Undangkulo na si Dusmasi talo no Mr. Kitugani yung nagsepta jamu renomination I hope that you know the commission will work with CUC to improve the quality of service that CUC does provide to its customers, but also to find ways to reduce the cost, because it's so unbearable. So that's all I have, Chair. I yield. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice President. Recognize Vice Chairman of Snyder.
Mr. Chairman, buenas tardes pa. Tori manggagi gini na meeting, especialmente si Mr. Kitugwa na ni familia.
Thank you.
Bula siya no, finena zao na bay saludaw sa accepta na mando dyan no na appointment no na sa dong kululu mas tutungo mas sa kanya gi perfecto sa moro lo gi itiningo dong kululu na responsibilidad yung fafana ne dyan ni mo colleagues.
Good.
Taza bay faisin Mr. Kitugwa no sa sesuta hunguk istiput bandan quantos años idat di generator no kita sa ipan especialmente jaga oportunidad para members si Senate kana un año malofan man makombidaham pabin tour di lower base power plant 1 sa mga na antiquated ito yung makina siya. Sa fanang 40 tantos años. Esta kompanya ni Fumatinas ito. Esta tiatungus, taigi esta gileblunia, taja esta no cost for them ni pro continua po ma-provide replacement parts. So, CUC binania man retrofit, nagwa machine shop, machinists locally, on site, and they're really doing their best ni pro ensure na kumugwa fa na defecto sinya mafatina si necessaryo na parts nimo makontinuan guano como sinya on share gi committee sa waha lay legislature no dunya patenya gini ni ma prominidi sa lapin po fan man procure power generator no gini uno or dos maybe 3 años na tempo desta munahan to the RFP pues tumonya no makansela ja muna rason na malaguzo na bikitunga gini nogu ko man involve i CPUC no ginabay sa no esta para todita tumungo no po di situation ni power generator gisaipan za no anesta motugi na part ni pro ma execute the procurement no kalangwa no makansela pues malunzo lokin ang desisyon ti commission logwa desisyon gyalumi gobernamento na ma-divert sa lapi somewhere tipo posible jo sa muna rason no mamaisin jo nisti sa very critical pagui situation ni power plant sa ipan. I think siyempre manaliami sa ni CUC sa staba kada mes maybe kada 3 months gani masanganit publicly pagu kada semana every other week problema power gisasaipan ni pro masustenia level of services para komunidad ta. Ja unwa na miskyo sinya guano setback talo sa mas tisinya ta provide power plus tisinya loki ma-collect mas dunya revenue ni pro masusteni cost of operation no. So sinya manon are you comfortable ni pun share ko gwazo mo knowledge put what transpired so that maybe next time zagwa oportunidad para fan man procure we can probably accompany it with a legislation to make sure that we don't fall down into that kind of situation ni pumakansela para office sa tana nesta 3 años conclusion na sa lapi belief kana utsumizon no makansela
Tiun hasungan ano na sakan na masusedi. Ini available i salapi ni pa ma procure i generators.
Hanggang ni liko na 2022 to 2023 no. Nasakan. Sinya lachiu ni sakan lo gagi no na time frame within the last 5 years. So I guess may tinisaro 20 Mr. Kitugwa ta diskuti mas lo at namatan fanisen sa customer no talo to det. Then ta revisit izo no sa watan ni mizo powers na nanga spensa juwa sa utataytay sa istina public law no 47 pages na inanok ko. So that's a lot. The izun mizo primary responsibility na there are general powers and duties kay gi article 2 letter A is regulate all rates, fares, fees, charges, services, rules, conditions of service, and all other matters pertaining to the formation, operation, and or direction of a regulated entity. So kalan insofar as that sentence itself, kalan kintodo employ just the cost of operation to employ people gi often agency ne tat kumisiusi. So dongkulu tingana leku dongkulu responsabilidad minzu za no mulik sista man quorum amzu ne lo you can only do so much even without a quorum. It's been mentioned oftentimes pago na hearing na the bottom line is I know their cost of recovery, cost to remain in operation for CUC, and also but at the same time the reality is gikadagwa neno mahaksay rates. Deko na 100% mapasa no na expense gato gi ratepayers which is itautotan sa komunidad. So I don't wanna you don't have to answer now, senyor lo namatan fanisti za koski sinya un azuday legislature in the future ni para tamano no to avoid na clause in miscue ne sa tanasta we're almost there pues taman makansela no pago jo true na concern ni I mentioned si floor leader Manglonia pudisti telecommunication na sinafanon repeat talo of what's the situation right now with the telecommunication company taza lingmo to nya gini
I tani ungan lo unwa solamente.
So giza mahando todui payment todui
lo ma-designate i lugar ne para ma-receive i pagamento ni payment para i servicio na gay sina Paulo Sefue.
Opes taza full-time employee po.
Taza mahutsum i oficina. Da un tautoa sumesit bi routing na.
I think he's just here for troubleshooting.
Yeah,
troubleshooting in terms of.
Tauta ni si ginafa defecto ne telefon mo ne. Hogo la mo ne hogo. Tauta para unso Augusta pon nanga usinogang saipan, and they can call you back and teach you what to do next for your cell phone through the telephone. It's not manually. You see the person, the guy here, very young guy, but I have no idea.
So you think
office.
So your sentiment is that we're being shortchanged as far as access to service. Okay. I want to second that recommendation
we'll bring that up. We'll be having meeting on February 13. March 13.
Okay.
I will be including that in the agenda item.
Right.
Because it's been known, and it's already nuisance to see that such problem.
Okay.
And it occurs anytime, anywhere, everywhere.
Okay.
The things will just happen right there, and the service is very poor.
Okay.
I'm sorry to say that, but on Saipan, I believe the service there is bright and shiny. because the services are more than enough. And the office there is very big on Saipan. Here you just have to scout and ask any technical person that knows very well about telephone, or you ask the young guy and help you a little, but not as much.
Okay.
That's what you can think
So-
about it.
Pistazar bi faisino talun sa kasusta manajan todos ti the consumer ni domu reappointment no respectfully asking to have a look at that and have them explain no to reopen and have access to service gida luta. And I think we speak even for the island of Tinian, know if there is such problem as well. No, tazamas Mr. Kitugwa, tis almost pa be wow true na suntulo likuna be alaw no za no uma reevaluate isti tafan careful isti rate changes no even if you have to take all the time you need to review the rate proposal by the entity.
I think we just held that back for further study because that came from the consultant of the CUC, the dot economist, something like that, and that would be that they do have consultants, and they're the one that propose the rate, and as a matter of fact, that also come along with the fuel adjustment charge for info. We cannot in any way possible to establish a rate change or increase because that is under MOPS or the International Oil and Petroleum, that our fuel is really a process in Singapore. If you've seen the oil ship that was recently coming, they went over to Singapore and have it there refine the crude oil before bringing back here to Sinimay, and that's the cost that imposed from them, and we cannot in any way possible to reduce the rate from themselves. So let's say that if they impose their own rate 50%, we cannot argument with that 50% because that's internationally established by the Oil Commission International. And our oil, the fuel coming from Singapore to be refined there and brought back here to our island, and that's where the increased cost, and we cannot do with that one. That's international. But us, we're trying to minimize or reduce the rate here where we can, but it takes that long. As a matter of fact, we were proposing on that thing, but it will only last or give us up to June because we do have this rate, January, the fuel adjustment charge up to now, February, talking about, and up to June. Now, they have to find a way, and we have to find a way. How can we reduce that? But it's hard for them to reduce internationally commission, and those rich people, oil countries like Saudi Arabia. Those are good examples for us. And of course, we do have consultants. Even us, we do have our own consultants. And we have to pay them too. Okay, thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Kitugwa. Just last but not the least, I think there is a presentation by CUC also on the alternative energy.
Yeah.
Regarding the
solar.
Correct. And something to probably take some time to review, or to look into.
Farm. Yeah.
Okay, and I'll yield for now, but I again want to thank you for your time today. Dani kampo mo ni tempo mo ni talo mas no pudret ni puro makonsidera ng isti na posisyon. No?
Mas.
Jesus mas Mr. Kitugwa.
Okay,
You
okay.
back, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Vice of Senator. This time I would like to recognize Senator Castro online.
Thank you, Chairman. Just audio check.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Kirwa. In light of your opening statement, I'm actually practicing what you recommended to save costs and be participate virtually. I just wanted to thank you for your service to the community. I took a look at your resume, and over the years of public service, mostly in education. But in light of what was said by Senator Hofschneider, Senator Karina, and the other senators, and what you mentioned earlier about we cannot really control the cost of oil or fuel, diesel. I do recommend that once confirmed, you link up with our different agencies within the renewable space. There's a solar farm in Manila, Guam. There's a good co-op program in the island of Kauai that where a small community, similar to the size communities that we have, they have basically transitioned to renewable energy, mostly solar. And I feel that the most beneficial part of your what you bring to the table is your educational background, because even the people at our power plant in Saipan lower base, most of those machinists, they're working on machines that are already obsolete, so they have to manufacture all of that on island. So education is the most critical part in this, and I hope that the board members will take the time. I know travel is not very popular nowadays, but sometimes it's better to go and meet with the people directly rather than to pay a consultant. And some of those people, the specialists in the field, they'll entertain you for free. You just have to go there to that site and speak with them and meet with them. And I look forward to sharing some of those contacts with you. Senator Judah and I have been able to meet with nonprofits such as the Blue Planet Alliance, and we've seen the different type of renewable energy. Senator Karina has a very good bill in my committee right now, and we'll be having a public hearing on that. And I look forward to your comments once confirmed. But other than that, I just want to thank you for volunteering, and I just want to thank the community at large for being patient. But with the power vested in the board members, we can probably. I look forward to tackling this issue once and for all. Thank you, Chairman. I yield.
Thank you, Senator Castro. And good afternoon again, Mr. Kidugwa. I know this is a very tough responsibility in regards to, and I really appreciate the Commission standing up for the general public, especially the consumers, in regards to CUC's request to increase the rate. The question that I would like to pose, have the Commission ever oversight CUC for all those statement that they're saying that sometimes they come on the paper, and I think it's creating panic and discomfort to the general public, most especially those that can barely fulfill the obligation on a daily basis, or maybe on a monthly basis because of this austerity measure. And even in the private sector, I think they're cutting down hours because of economic, you know, depression. Have the commission ever oversight to see? Because I share the same sentiment with the members, no? In regards to what Senator, the Vice President mentioned about not only just to concentrate on utility, but the water, because I know back then, I don't know whether they still have, and even with power, whether they still have that flat rate charges on utility and water. I know that they call smart meter, and I think they should oversight that or look into that smart meter, because there's a case in Tinian that a meter is still running even though you shut down the main source going into the residential. And I was informed that the water division people witnessed it, that the meter keep turning. So it has to be some pressure turning that, and that, I think that should be looked into, because I feel sorry for the consumer to be incurring so much water bills when he's not even providing water. And there's also some cases that they requested for water service, and the owner of that resident haven't even pulled in the water to their house, and they're still receiving a charges of electric services. How can that be electric service when there's no water going in? You guys, I ask because your authority as a PUC is to regulate, and you have the authority to oversight, and because to make sure that it's just and reasonable towards the consumer.
Yes, excuse me, Chairman. Yes, we do cite here those kind of situation, and we are keen enough to go after the problems from the CUC. Of course, there are several of our clients that have been having problems with that one, and we do correct some of them, but they are still waiting, and we call their attention, because that even call our attention to about the newspaper. Sometimes the newspaper really is not that accurate enough, as we all know. Sometimes they report it in a very different way, or so biased that it only serves the personal purpose of an individual.
So I understand that. So can this be available to the public if that's a false statement? Can the commission at least respond to that, so that the people can be able to understand that whatever is coming out from the paper is false statement? And
yes.
So that because readers, they always rely on what they're reading, and unless somebody respond to that it's a negative statement. No?
We put that as part of our agenda items, and we correct those kind of story or written from the newspaper that has not been corrected, and we are aware about that.
Okay, so in regards to, like, for example, complaints, public complaints, do your office have any access to receive complaints because I know the complaints will always go to CUC, right? It doesn't go directly to the commission.
Yeah.
Do you have some kind of SOP or protocol that you get all those complaints at CUC, so you can be able to look into that, whether it's a reasonable complaint or it needs to be an oversight? No?
We do have that kind of complaint, and we have been working with and resolved the complaint.
Okay.
And we address that to the CUC management to take care of that problem, because it's really a problematic situation whereby the individual is really complaining in such a way that his complaint is worthwhile. Like what you were saying, we entertain them.
Yeah, the reason why I said this because if those complaints are ignored and CC decided to just bring it anyway to the judicial, and assuming that they lost the case, that will incur another what they always say gonna be a loss recovery. So those are the things that we're trying to avoid, because it's still lawsuit, Mr. Kidugwa.
Yes.
Tisinata determine whether it's
Congrats.
going to be a big lawsuit or, because, abogado na, siyempre, of course, na they get their services, no?
Good.
It's not coming from, of course, they're gonna, making sure that the client is not gonna be burdened with everything. It's gonna
Yes.
come out with from the losing parties a pocket unless they have a settlement that they have to pay their own.
Yes.
But if the case is very serious, they might be able to tap it or get the CUC be responsible to pay everything. That's another cost, no? And I know that CUC trying to their best to find ways, no, to recover. And
Yes.
the only way to recover is go after the people.
It's true.
And like I said, it's very, very difficult for the people to be always the burden on this, because not only that they're in the government, and I know in the private sector as well, they're cutting hours, no? It's very difficult for every time there's a problem, the general public is going to be to shoulder, no? And some people, they might not know. Maybe my statement now, they will a lot will know, no, that anything and everything is going to go to them, because where else where else to find?
Yeah.
Unless there's a subsidy from the federal government to assist us, and I'm hoping there is. But otherwise, it's gonna be coming from the pocket of the consumers. So, I really appreciate the commission to stay up and do some